welcome back to Top Guest Studio with me, your host Joe. Last week we had episode the amazing multi-talented magician Apollo Jackson. This week we have a very special edition of Top Guest Studio for you. We have flown on a plane from the Gold Coast to Melbourne to meet one of Learning for Life's charity co-founders. Not only does our top guest have a huge impact behind the scenes for helping children with autism, he's an Australian comedian, television presenter, producer, director, writer, occasional actor, and author. And he currently hosts Network 10's Have You Been Paying Attention? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome, it's Mr. Tom Gleisner!
Big intro. Let's hope it's not underwhelming from here. Let's see how we go. Nice to
Welcome
see
to
you,
the
Joe.
show, Tom.
Thank you.
So, we've flown from the Gold Coast down to here to Melbourne, so it's amazing to actually meet you in person.
I hope I'm delighted to meet you too. I've enjoyed your YouTube channel and all the great interviews you've. How do you get such exciting guests?
I don't know, it's all up to my producer. So, yeah. So, I only watched your 2 shows on Sunday, so just to get a bit about you. So, yeah.
What did you think?
I thought it was really good.
Good.
The show is pretty funny, isn't it?
There are certainly some very funny people on the show.
So, can you tell us more about Have You Been Paying Attention?
Sure. Well, it's a quiz if you've never seen it. And we ask questions about the week's events. So we watch a lot of news stories and then we see whether people have been paying attention and they can remember stuff about what's happened in the news.
So, Tom, it's such a pleasure. Not only are you a television presenter and producer, but behind the scenes together with your wife Mary and your good friends, you set up a charity called Learning for Life. Tom, can you share a little bit more about how Learning for Life started and what inspired you?
Well, it was about 15 years ago, Joe. As you said, Mary and myself and several other people wanted to help children with autism. And we set up Learning for Life so that we could provide very specialised learning programs for them. These kids who might only be 3 or 4 years old could have specially trained therapists who could help bring out their great talents and help them be the best they could be.
Yeah, and that's the same as me. My life was kind of difficult because I had autism and I really couldn't do any maths or anything at high school, primary school, so I suffered a bit. It was a bit hard, but now I understand how it is.
What are your special talents?
My special talents are singing, acting and dancing.
That's 3 very special talents.
Yes.
And of course presenting your own interview program.
Yes.
That's 4.
Yes.
I've got nothing.
Well, you do have you been paying attention?
That's true.
And all the crowd, well, all our viewers want to know, have you been paying attention?
Well, I try to because I help write the questions, so hopefully I do kind of know what's going on. But it's funny, when we stop making the show, we have a bit of a break over summer, I just stop watching news because I'm a bit sick of it by the end of a long season. But I do try and pay attention while we're making the show.
Everyone should be paying attention to have you been paying attention. I was inspired to read that the charity helps with school behavioural support programs too, and I think this is amazing. Tom, can you share a little bit more how Learning for Life? And I was also inspired to read that the charity with school behavioural support programs too. I think this is amazing and inspiring, and it's helping kids with great things.
Very true, Joe. Yes, so Learning for Life, we send therapists into schools where some of our children might be learning, and we help the teachers know the best way to help the children, because sometimes teachers, they're dealing with a big class, maybe 20 or 30 kids, and maybe they don't have time to deal with every child there, because every child has different needs and different talents. So we can go in and just help come up with some strategies. Like, did you find school difficult?
Yeah, I found school a bit difficult, so it was pretty difficult for me doing maths in high school or English because I didn't really understand anything about English or maths, so yeah.
Did you have a helper or a therapist?
I was in special education, so I did maths in special education, they helped me with all that.
Sure. So you don't like maths? Yeah, I was never very good at maths. English, did you like to read?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's really what you need to do.
We read Ando's The Happiest Refugee.
Oh, beautiful book.
Yes.
Ando's a really amazing story, isn't he? Coming from an amazing background, and he does a show on. Have you seen An's show on?
Yes.
He does painting.
I have.
Mm.
What advice or tips would you give me to help me with my presenting, Tom?
Well, you're here in Melbourne and you dress perfectly, because that's important, because it's freezing, isn't it? It's cold. Step one, dress for the weather, and you've done that. Find interesting people to talk to, and you're doing that. You've had some great people, and you've got some more interesting guests coming up, I believe, in coming weeks. And I think if you're interested in the person you're talking to, then it'll be an interesting interview.
Every week, I love tuning into Have You Been Paying Attention? Now, do you complete all your filming on Monday afternoon before it goes to air?
We tape Have You Been Paying Attention on Sunday. So it's the day before it goes to air, late in the afternoon, and we get an audience into the studio. There's about 70 people. And we tape it on a Sunday, and then we just hope that nothing happens on Monday. Because imagine if by Monday night, there'd been a new Prime Minister or something, and people go, why didn't you ask about that? Well,
you didn't know.
We didn't know. So sometimes we even have to ask questions about things that haven't actually happened. Think about that.
That's pretty difficult.
Yeah.
I was amazed to read that you boast to have just over 23 Facebook friends. Now, Tom, I think I might have a few more than you, Tom. Is Sam Pang one of your Facebook friends?
No, I don't think Sam's all that huge on social media. I've now got more. I've got about 100, but most of them I purchased from Africa. You pay money and you get followers. Apparently, I've done it. I'm not great with Instagram. I'm told is the place to be these days. What's your favourite social media platform?
Well, I can tell you my followers exactly right now. So Facebook friends, I have 833.
What?
Instagram, I have 413 followers. People I'm following are exactly 3,015 people.
Wow.
And I was interested to read that you have also directed The Castle, The Dish, and you've also directed Glenn Robbins, aka Russell Coy.
Yes, well, I've certainly directed Glenn in All Aussie Adventures. Glenn plays a character called Russell Coy. And when we say direct, it's basically trying to make him keep his pants on, because it's a challenge. But Glenn's wonderful to work with. I didn't direct The Castle or The Dish. I helped write those films. My friend Rob directed those films, but we all work together. I've got a group of friends, Rob and Santo and Jane, and myself, and we work together making most of the TV and film productions that we're involved with.
Now, how hard is it keeping Russell under control?
Russell is a challenge, there's no question about it. And it's difficult filming with Glenn, especially in country areas, because he's very popular and everyone wants to meet him and say hi. So sometimes we have to be, very careful about where we're filming so that people don't know we're there. Because once word gets out, suddenly everyone arrives and they want selfies. And Glenn's very patient, but sometimes we've got to keep moving. But it's good fun finding different ways for Russell Coy to hurt himself.
Yeah, so we've all seen that. We've all seen Russell Coy hurt himself a few times. And we've all seen a few episodes go wrong.
We have. Most episodes go wrong, but it's good fun to be in different. We've gone to really interesting places in Australia, right up to Western Australia, and we've been up along the on the tropical coast in Queensland, and all sorts of great places. Alice Springs to film Russell camping and getting into trouble.
Your next location you should probably do is the Gold Coast. We have some scenic routes on the Gold Coast that you guys should come and see and come film with Russell.
Except you do realise Russell will destroy them. That's the problem. I wouldn't want to damage your backyard.
That's all right. Our government can pay for it.
Sure.
Well, our council can. Now, your wife used to be a vet. Is that right?
That's true. Well, so she tells me. And that's right. So she looked after mainly dogs and cats. and we've got 2 dogs and a cat, and it's her job to give them their worm tablets and deflea them. And she takes our dog Gem to obedience class, but it's not working.
Yes. And so I've heard that you guys, with this charity, you guys do charity trivia nights to raise money. And you also do golf days.
Yes, we did a golf day last year. Do you play golf, Joe?
No.
Any interest?
Not really.
Good chat. Yes, Mary and I took up golf a year or so ago, so we decided to hold a golf day and raise money for Learning for Life, and lots of people came along and formed teams and played, and it was great. So we're going to do it again in October of this year, and after the golf we have a dinner, and hopefully everyone who's played gets to stay and enjoy a meal and bid for things at the auction, and all that money goes to Learning for Life.
So our viewers want to know, have you ever met anyone famous from any kids' bands?
Gee, I think I used to take my kids to, just after the Wiggles, there was a group called the Hooly Doolies. Remember them?
Yes, I do.
And we went to a concert. We may have done a meet and greet there. I had my 2-year-old daughter, who I think was in tears. I wanted the meet and greet, and it was exciting for me. So the Hooly, any other kids' bands? No, I think it would just be. I've met one of the Wiggles, possibly a green skivvy, possibly not. Anyway, the skivvy was involved, and I've met a Wiggle.
So now it's time for my favourite segment of the day. Tom, get excited, because this is the rapid fire round. It's just like your rapid recall on have you been paying attention. It's fast. It's fast paced. So, Tom, are you ready?
I'm ready to go, Joe.
Alright, here we go. Favourite AFL team?
Oh, St Kilda.
Queensland or New South Wales in state of origin?
Queensland.
Are you a dog or cat person?
Dog.
Books or music?
Music.
Greatest movie or musical you have ever seen?
Hamilton as a musical, and this is Spinal Tap as a film.
Madonna or Michael Jackson music?
Are we allowed to like Michael? I thought we do. No, we love Michael Jackson.
Favourite meal and who cooks it?
Spaghetti marinara and me.
Okay, would you rather put the washing out or fold it up?
Put it out. Folding and ironing apparently not my greatest skills.
Favourite drink?
I like a gin and tonic.
What else would you like to be great at?
I'd love to be able to sing. It's not funny. I can't sing. It's terrible. It's sad. In fact, I'll sing now. No? Okay.
You can ask me some questions if you like too.
Sure. Where have I ranked in terms of the famous people you've met? Like top 5?
Well, you're probably on our 20th episode today.
Well, that is a privilege. 20. Okay. How do you feel our interview's gone today?
Good.
Just good. You know, on a like, if you had to give it a star rating, out of 5.
5 out of 10.
5. 10. Okay, sorry. That is the most confusing answer I've ever had, but a good answer, Joe. A good answer. Are you going to see anywhere else in Melbourne apart from here?
Don't know yet. We have to see.
If you could see anywhere else whilst you're here in Melbourne, what would you like to see?
Ooh, I definitely want to go and see the block.
Oh, okay. They're blocks. Yeah, Scott Cam will be down there right now with a hammer. You ride on a tram. I'm trying to think what else. Ride on a tram, laneways, a really good coffee, and be carjacked. And that's basically Melbourne in an afternoon.
Is there any other questions you wanted to ask me about my YouTube channel or about anything about myself?
How can people find your YouTube channel?
Well, people can just go to Top Guest Studio with Joe in YouTube, punch that up in the search engine, Top Guest Studio with Joe, and you'll see us, and there'll be all of our episodes. So guys, stay tuned for our next interview. So subscribe, share, and like, and also comment if you will. So guys, let's thank Tom here from Have You Been Paying Attention? It's Tom Gleisner.
Thank you, Joe. I've really enjoyed it.
So guys, we'll see you this afternoon for another great episode.
Follow me on Facebook.